All right, welcome back. We continue live right here on Pittsburgh CW. Bob Pompeani and Gene Collier on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. It's the Bordas and Bordas Hotline, which you can reach at 412-575-2600. I mentioned the Penguins. Patrick Hornquist has suffered his 5th concussion in the last 4 years. 2nd this season. He took a puck to the head the other night. So Mike Sullivan said today that he's out with a concussion again, and you wonder about the cumulative effect of this kind of stuff. And also Zach Aston Reese, who got into a fight with Connor Sevier. He took he landed the best punch, which was a right hand right onto the head of Sevier, but apparently he broke his hand, and now he's out longer term. This Hornquist thing is a little bit concerning because it's the way he plays, Gene.
Yeah.
This other incident the other night, he got hit with the puck. That happens. But he plays hard enough, and he goes to those areas where he can get concussions, and he's had a lot of concussions.
Dirty areas, Bob.
Dirty areas, yes.
Yeah, no, he's
where you get the garbage goals.
Where you get the greasy goals.
Yes.
Yeah, that's his style of play. There's going to be a lot of contact, a lot of collisions. They're not always necessary, but you know, he creates some mayhem out there, and you know, the Penguins love him for it, and you know, the fans do too. He's a very valuable player that way, especially in the front of the net. But it's taken a toll on him, and you're right, Bob. It's getting to the point where it's become a concern. It
has. And by the way, Tampa Bay, it looks like they're going to win tonight. They're going to be 34-8. Braden Point, the 22-year-old, he's been outstanding. In his last 26 games, he's got 41 points. He's a +13, had 2 more goals tonight. And the Capitals also won. They beat Boston in Boston 4-2. Ovechkin with 2. He now has 32. Line 1, we got Rick in Squirrel Hill. What's up, Rick?
Hi, Bob and Gene.
Hey, Rick.
I just want to talk about Antonio, of course. I just think he only cares about himself. I have a feeling if the Steelers would beat a team 30-0, but he only had 2 catches, he would be unhappy.
We've already seen that, by the way.
Yeah, and if they would lose to a team 30-0, but he had 12 catches, I think he'd be happy.
We've seen that too.
Pardon me?
We've seen that too.
Right, and the other thing, when Ben was suspended and Landry Jones was the quarterback, he wasn't happy. He wasn't getting as many passes thrown his way. So I think if he goes to a team that's not very good or has a bad quarterback, he's going to cause a problem there.
Well, you say Ben was suspended. He meant out with injury when Landry Jones got in. Whatever the case, you know, Antonio Brown wants to be the reason they win. And when he's not the reason they win, I don't think it goes over too well with him, Gene. Is that a good way of looking at it?
Yeah, I think.
And that's nothing wrong. He wants to win, but he wants to be the reason to win.
Yeah, no, that's what his agent said. He just wants to win. Well, no, he wants to catch the ball. He doesn't really care whether they win or lose, in my view. Yeah, I don't disagree with anything the caller said.
Line 3, we go. It's Bob in Clearfield. Hey, Bob, welcome to the Sports Call.
Hi, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for taking my call. You know, it's just interesting to see what your thoughts are regarding what possible impact in terms of trade value Antonio Brown could have in the face of a not real strong 2019 draft. That's what's my understanding. There's an abundance of edge rushers, but the speedy coverage linebackers like Ryan Shazier are in short supply. The defensive backs are not real deep, and wide receivers are not all that deep. But just asking what you guys think, could this draft, which is not real expected to be very strong, actually boost the trade value of Antonio Brown? So thanks for taking my call.
All right, no problem. Hey, listen, if they can get a top 10 pick somewhere along the way, you're always going to get value there, I think, Gene. You know, I don't think there are as many good quarterbacks. I also don't think, based on reading a lot of the guys who do this for a living, think there are all that many great, you know, defensive players who are going to come right in and play and make a star of themselves. So, but you never know, and I'd rather have the opportunity to draft them than not, especially if it's in top 10, top 15.
What was the question?
He wanted to know because they're, you know, I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't know.
I thought he meant about if you're going to trade for him, if you get something in return, you can't guarantee, but you never can guarantee that it's going to be anything that turns out to be value, right? Let's go to Mary in Monroeville. What's up, Mary? How are you?
Hi, how are you?
All right, what's up?
I guess I want to keep Antonio Brown. The last 2 years, he was my favorite player, and I guess everybody disagrees with me, but I hope they can sit down and talk when the season's over with, and somehow they get to keep him. I think he's a great player. Between him and Juju Smith and Rosenberg, they were the best players on the team.
Let me ask you something, Mary. What makes you think Antonio Brown is going to change? Because that's what has to happen for this to happen.
Yeah.
Do you think he can? Because he's shown no willingness to do it before.
I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. I feel like when I watch the games, it just seems like he wants to win, and he's all in.
All right, thanks for the call. We appreciate it. Line 4, let's go to Mark in North Hills. What's up, Mark?
Hey, guys. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Great show.
What's up?
You know the thing about Troy Polamalu didn't play in his rookie season.
No, and not at all. And people were wondering, uh-oh, was this going to be somebody who's not going to really be as good as they thought? And then, boom, second year, he exploded.
But I was watching, just a real quick Pirates question. You guys are great on this. But today I was watching a ESPN show, and the two guys said that the Brewers signed a guy for 1 year, $18 million, and they said that now the Brewers are a big market club. I just want to see what you guys think.
Yeah, Yasmani Grandal, who's a really good catcher, and quite frankly, I'm surprised because the Dodgers reportedly had offered him 4 years, $60 million. He's, I think, 29, Gene, or 30 years old.
Yeah, that's about right.
But 18.25, you know, one thing I'll say about Milwaukee, when they get into mode of trying to compete, and they won a championship last year, the division I'm talking about, and they did it because they went out and made a clever trade for Yelich, who turned out to be the MVP of the league, and they signed Lorenzo Cain, who had very good WAR numbers. They still need more pitching, but Grandal was somebody they needed because they didn't have much returning in the catching department.
Yeah, no, they're very aggressive when they need to be, or I think they have the opportunity. They went out and got Shaw a couple of years ago. Grandal was a good player. He's a catcher with 4 consecutive 20-homer seasons, I believe. So, you know, every team in the division has improved themselves except the Pirates.
And we're waiting to see something here. But so far it's been just Lonnie Chisenhall, and that's it. Bobby Joe Snyder on Twitter says, look at the former Steelers who went into different teams and came back to retire as a Steeler. It's a maturity and humbleness issue. It isn't like high school where the coach can mentor and the player can't leave the team. Okay.
Like who? You're talking about Brian McFadden and
I don't know.
Bill Gay, and those guys were mature when they were here the first time.
Maturity is maturity. Antonio Brown is 30. If he's not mature by now, he's not going to be mature, I would think, right?
Well, as I said again, going back to this column, I mean, they have 9 weeks to convince him that there are more important things than him. It's probably not enough time. It's not. I mean, he's gone over the edge.
412-575-2600, that's the number to call. We'll take a break, come back with more of your calls and tweets right here live on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, Pittsburgh CW.